Ladies and gentlemen, the show we've all been waiting for, Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present REP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts, Kim Purvis and Allison Robinson. Live every Thursday night on Spreaker, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Be sure to check out their Facebook page, REP Paranormal Busters.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Good evening, guys. I'm sorry I'm running a little late. My tech computer ain't here tonight. Allison couldn't be here tonight, so it's just me tonight. So we had to figure everything out by myself. So I'd like to have you meet our guest. We have Karen Marsh and Paul Marsh here from Depart. Is that right? From the Depart group, Paranormal. So, Paul, why don't you start with yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself? And
my name is Paul Marsh. I used to live in Malvern, where Smurfin Manor is. I grew up there and recently moved to Des Moines. I've been doing this for around 3 years now, and of course we had the school adventure, which was a lot of fun. And we've done several things since then. And before then, been to the squirrel cage jail, which was a lot of fun. And yeah.
Okay, Karen, you want to tell us a little bit how you got started and about yourself?
Well, a few years ago, 3 years ago, my son went with his friend Sean Jeffers down to the Missouri State Pen. And that's where Paul met Matt Bennett, the leader of our group. And he asked Paul if he wanted to join, and they've been thick as thieves ever since.
Nothing wrong with that.
Even to the point that...
Matt's a fun guy.
Yes.
So.
Even to the point that we felt that we were kind of not getting in on the... major cases from Southwest Iowa. So I sold my house and we moved to Des Moines.
Yeah.
Priority first, you know.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Do you guys like living in Des Moines?
Loving it.
We
All
do.
right.
Love it.
That's the main thing right there. Okay, I know I met you guys at Farrar the first time.
Right.
Yes.
So can you tell me about some of the stuff you caught at Farrar that was interesting?
I just remember Farrar being cold.
Yeah, I remember that night. Very cold.
Really cold. I like the auditorium watching shadow play. That's pretty much all I can remember other than the cold, because it's just how cold it was.
Oh, I know. Every time you turned around, you're shaking and you can't hold the camera straight.
Yeah, and sadly that trip to Farrar, I didn't get to enjoy it because of the cold. I don't do cold well. So.
Right. Nah, I'm not a cold person either. We just went to Edinburgh this weekend, and it was freezing cold.
Edinburgh's nice.
Yes.
That's a good one.
And what about you in Farrar?
I did sense quite a bit of tinkling.
Yeah.
And I get that a lot, and I was brushed up against several times in the auditorium.
I love the auditorium. Plus, I love the boiler room. boiler room's a fun room for me.
I've never got to investigate the boiler room. I want
That
to
was-
so bad.
Yeah.
And it was
You're missing
uncomfortable
out
for
in the
me.
boiler
I
room.
know, that's what I hear.
Because that's where I get most of my actions, in the boiler room. Or the principal's office, we get locked in.
Mm.
Of course, we kind of said we were going to smoke in his room, and next thing I know, you hear the click of the lock.
Oh, no.
Mm,
So
man.
we knew we weren't smoking in the principal's office. Okay, and let's see, where you said you went to the squirrel cage. Can you tell us something about the squirrel cage?
The scroll cage was really interesting because there was a lot of in the I don't know if it was the warden's bedroom, I guess, the warden's place where he lived, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was hearing voices and footsteps just when I was laying on the floor in there, and it was constant. It would not let up.
Well, I haven't been to the squirrel cage yet. We go this year in September.
Yeah, it's a neat place.
You'll really enjoy it.
So what's it like with walking around that jail that's in a circle? If
Well,
it's
sadly, the spinning thing, whatever they call it, they took the motor out of it and it's seized up or something. It doesn't turn anymore.
oh,
But you can
Because-
walk all the way around.
Because inmates were sticking their arms out and having their arms broken in it.
Ow.
So I guess they kept it from turning.
But you can feel pressure on you just from all the souls
Mm-hmm.
in that building and all the terror.
I bet. I can't wait to go.
And I guess there's some information on fingerprinting in there. The fingerprint system was, I guess, created because of that place.
Oh,
It was in a glass case.
interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
I'm learning something every day.
I guess they had the wrong inmate released
Huh.
or something like that.
Interesting. Now, I saw a video of when Matt was sitting up in the warden's room. So what happened up there? Him and Dwayne were together up there, or I can't quite remember, but I know they both got spooked.
You know, I don't think he ever explained what happened up there.
No,
We asked and he just kind of brushed us off.
Brushed you off?
Yeah.
Well, that ain't good. You got to tell your teammates.
I should ask him what that was about tonight.
I've got our subject for the ride home.
Right.
There you
Exactly.
go. And where other places have you investigated? I know you guys done private,
Yeah.
and you really can't talk about
Missouri
those.
State
So.
Pen, where I met Matt. I really should talk about that. That was one great location. Huge. I was afraid of the catwalks. They went up like 5 stories or something like that, and I'd go up to almost the top one, look down, and feel like I was going to throw up. And I'm not afraid of heights.
Oh,
So
I'm not either. So that's one of on my bucket list. I want to
they're
go to.
about that wide too, about 1.5 feet wide, and you got to squeeze through them.
Ooh,
They are not wide
I think
at all.
I would be nervous too on something that narrow.
Yeah, it makes you pretty nervous.
What kind of action did you get there while you were there? Because I know you're escorted around with people.
Shadows. There was a lot of knocks, a lot of stuff like that. I really didn't see any. I didn't get any EVPs. I didn't see a lot of physical.
Mm.
So, but it was interesting that we saw the gas chamber, which weird feeling sitting in that chair. Very weird feeling.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could do it. Just like Edinburgh, it's got a casket in the building now. And everybody on my live feed wanted me to get in that casket. And I said, Nope. That's one thing I cannot do.
I don't blame you.
I could do everything else, but I can't get in no casket. Nope. I'm not ready for that yet. Let's see. I'm trying to. I had my notes here, but I think Puppy ate him because I was writing down different places you've been. So, have you guys been to Edinburgh at all?
Actually, yes.
It was that last fall.
Yeah, I can't remember what we were coming home from. We were coming home from somewhere, and we ended up having to make a side stop to Edinburgh, which was interesting, especially in the room with the dolls.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I love those dolls. I know it.
That's an interesting room. And then it's got this feeling to it that the only other place I've really felt it is Smurfin Manor.
Yeah.
It's almost an unpleasantness, but still a kindness, like a misunderstood feeling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I don't like those dolls either. We put a camera on them because we swore they were moving on us.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about Melbourne? Besides the
Malvern Manor, I used to set up a laser grid and point it down the nurse's hallway.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. And that was in the time where I really didn't know what I was doing. I did see a little bit, but not much because I wasn't really knowing what to look for at the time, I guess. But Malvern Manor, it's one of those locations you gotta be patient in, I think. You can't just go in there and expect something because more than likely it's gonna happen. But if you expect it, I think they know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're more than likely they're not gonna want it to happen. They're gonna.
I agree with you on Melbourne, and Edinburgh's the same way. Don't get in a hurry because they're gonna come out when they want to.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So I think I feel the same about both of those places.
Not happen.
Exactly.
See
I
the
found
school.
that too.
The only thing that happened to us was in that auditorium part where
Yeah.
we went in. But other than that, we didn't get a single thing in that whole school when we
Really?
investigated.
Really?
Yeah, we had the SLS camera in the auditorium there, and we had a lot of action with Allison, the girl that usually does the show with me, and it was holding hands with her, dancing with her, and everything. And then her anxiety got welled up. We had to leave. And so we said, well, we're going to go try some other spots in school. And we didn't get nothing, anything
Really?
downstairs, anywhere.
That's very crazy because we had that portal running through the entire school.
Well, like I said, they don't come out on command.
That's
You can't.
right.
They only come when they want to come out.
Right.
So.
And I remember the Christmas party. I stood in this this doorway to kind of in room 202. There was it was kind of a U-shaped hallway that went 2 doors, and you can go back in as a coat rack. I'm standing in one of the doorways, and there's 2 stick figures on the connect, like at waist height with me. I didn't get to see it. We got it on the connect. We got it on camera. We got it on a digital photo as well. And we get downstairs to look over everything. I guess it's all gone. I didn't get to see it, but everybody's like, look at the connect. I'm like, what's going on here, guys? I never got to see it.
I've never had that happen before where it erased things.
Oh yeah, I've had
the batteries die.
I've had that happen with some of my recorders.
Yes.
Huh. That's interesting.
Especially stuff from that school. I've had my FLIR thermal cameras chip wiped.
Huh. But yeah, no, when we did the school, that's why we wanted to go back, and then the situation and everything, which don't talk about, but
A lot of people wanted to go back.
and we had it booked. We were going to book it for 2 nights because I figured the first night let them get used to us, and maybe the second night they'd be a little bit more active.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know us from Adam, because you guys were always there and we weren't, and it was a new place to investigate.
Right.
So have you ever done the
fallen in love with the school, but we actually stayed at the Klondike, and that night I was sleeping in the room with all the war stuff in it, the war memorabilia.
The room I slept in.
Yeah, and a little girl says, "Who are you?" in a questioning voice.
Huh.
And I was just like, okay, I'll remember that. I think that's one of the craziest things I've ever had happen to me.
We kept hearing a cat, but we couldn't tell if it was outside or if it was inside.
That doesn't surprise me.
But it looked like on our Connect.
Entire town is one hotspot.
Because you guys just did a private residence there.
Right.
So, yeah, Matt was telling me you guys did last weekend or something like that, he said.
It's been a couple weekends ago.
So, when you're investigating, do you like to do private residence or do you like to go to the more well-known? You don't have to tell what you've done at the private residence or anything.
We do whatever's necessary, whatever's needed.
Yeah.
People call us very frequently just having problems in their home that they either want to get rid of or they just want to understand
Right.
and get along with the entity that they have. In which case, we just teach them how to get along.
Well, that's good. So we don't do very many private residents because we're not that experienced, and we have had a couple that want us to come in. We just haven't. Their schedule ain't working with our schedule. We're any time, but their schedule just ain't working. And so I've got 2 other teams. So if I have a problem, I know who to call, and they can help us through it. So we're not hurting that person on what we're finding and stuff. So,
right.
And then I work with them, and they work with the resident and us, and we get everything solved. And
inter-team cooperation is very important.
Yep. And Matt's one of them. If I need a problem, he said to call anytime I need him, and then he would help us through it. So, and I love Matt anyway. So
we actually started out as a case in Malvern. A team never got down to us, but Matt was giving us advice over the phone, and through that advice, we were conducting our own investigations, which, in my opinion, I don't know if that was honestly the smartest move, but it happened.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about our chosen profession.
Yeah. We had one person contact us, but she lived in Minnesota, and there was no way we could get up to her.
Right.
So I know a team up there in Minnesota, and I directed her straight to them, and I figured they're closer to her than we were to get to help her. So, and I'm going, I'd love to come up there and help you, but I cannot. But this is the team I want you to contact. I've already contacted them. They're waiting for you to. So she did, and they went and helped her, which that's the way I think teams should work together, and that way you're helping everybody you need to.
Yeah.
That way what needs to get done gets done.
Right.
No egos should get in the way there.
No
egos.
Because,
no room for egos.
No, there ain't in this.
Right.
Anybody out there have any questions for these guys? Yes, you hear my kitty cat. She's a meowing. If you have any questions, let me know and we'll ask them. Any other places have you been to? I know you guys go to Haunticon. You're going this year?
We're not going this year.
Not going this year.
We're saving our money for
Dogpatch.
For Dogpatch.
Oh, yeah.
We've been asked to speak,
Yes.
so that should be interesting. That should be fun.
Yes, I want to get down there too. I tried to get them to come up to Edinburgh last weekend, but they already are on an investigation, and they said they can't drive 9 hours after an investigation.
Yes, dark night.
Yeah, Laura goes, I want to go. I'll be there in 9 hours. She didn't make it.
Dark Knight's always a privilege to work with.
Yes.
They're fun.
I always watch their live feeds and stuff in the cemeteries and stuff.
Right.
Have you ever done any cemeteries or anything? Investigate.
Buxton.
Buxton, yeah, that's it. I never can remember that name of that ghost town.
Oh, I love Buxton.
The place is great.
Buxton. It's a wonderful little town, and Ray and Chris Hughes are wonderful. Their whole family is great.
Feel the energy in that place.
Matt says, "I'm always going to take you. I'll take you." And next thing I know, he's there, and he didn't take me.
I didn't really have any experiences at Buxton, but I did have I guess we had a celebration out there. It was we had our pagan celebration out there, and it was a lot of fun. But for any activity, I didn't focus on investigating that night. It was such a nice night that I just wanted to relax, look at the stars, and so that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of times when you're ignoring them, that's when you get a lot of activity.
Yeah.
We have a question in the chat. It says, "How long have they been investigating?" I think they just come in, so they didn't hear the.
We've been investigating. I've been investigating for around three and a half years.
And I started investigating about a year after he did, so about 2.5 years.
That's cool.
And I love it.
Oh, I couldn't pass this up, but if I could go every weekend, I would.
Me too.
Same with us, yes.
But it just takes a little bit of this. That's the only bad thing. It takes that money. Let's see. Is there any place that you want is on your bucket list that you really, really, really want to go to?
Waverly Hills.
Waverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
That's on my bucket list. Besides,
I had to pass it up last year.
Oh, darn.
Either the Myrtles Plantation.
Ooh.
Which just makes me shiver thinking about it. Or the Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah, but they don't let you investigate there no more, I heard. They just
they don't.
Just like you take tours.
Yeah.
It'd still be fascinating.
Oh, definitely. What was your favorite location, it says?
Oh, man.
I have so many.
I may be biased, but I'd say the Manila Schoolhouse.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
We came to love that place.
Second favorite would be close in the running as Missouri State Pen. I would love to go back there. I keep begging Matt, when are we going to go back to Missouri State Pen? He says someday, so we'll find out.
That one takes not a disc if you don't have a lot of people going.
Yeah.
If you have quite a bit going, it's not so bad. Let's see, we got a couple more.
My other favorite tool is my brain because, you need that for this.
Well, yeah.
You can't go without it.
Yeah.
What about yours?
My mind. I don't usually use
yourself,
any.
Yep.
I usually don't use any gadgets.
And we must be buffering again. Doesn't say we're buffering here, Shay.
Hi, Shay.
Nope, because it would be circling if it was buffering. Nope, I'm not buffering there, so. Night, Matt. Thank you. Whoops. Wrong show here. Wait a minute. It knocked me out of the show. Dang. There we go. Now I think we're back. Because it would be circling right there if it was buffering, so I think we're back because it's not saying it's buffering or nothing. Well, the next question is, we might have lost you. Let's see. No, we're not supposed to lose me yet. Not till the end of the show. Let's see. Alrighty then. She's back. I'm back. I'm back. I didn't see it buffering anywhere. That's the thing. Okay, back to the question. I gotta back up. How about your scariest location?
Again, I gotta say Missouri State Pen. That I'd never been inside of a prison before that, so that was kind of freaky.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh?
Mm-hmm. It was just, I felt prickly uncomfortable in that entire building.
For me, with Missouri State Pen, the reason I think it was my scariest is because I'd never been on an investigation before in my life. I went because basically my sister decided not to go. I went with my friend Sean Jeffers, and she was going to go, and she backed out. So I went, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything about it, really. So I was walking in jail cells not knowing if the door was going to shut behind me, stuff like that. So, yeah, that was a scary visit.
Didn't they warn you against doing that?
They warned us against moving the cell doors because if they... Yeah, it would.
Oh, no. Oh, we're buffering again. I can see it now. But that wasn't doing that earlier. There we go. Now we're quit buffering. Are we back again? It buffered there for a second. I'm all plugged in with everything, straight to the Wi-Fi, everything, and it's buffering. I don't like technology. But let's see. Anything else that you could think of that you've been to that I haven't brought up? I'm trying to think.
Well, I think the school really put a halt in our locations that we went to because we spent all of our time there. So I'm sure we'd have so many more locations, but yeah, that school we spent most of our time for a good year and a half going there.
Yes.
So.
Well, we started talking about HauntACon. What's it like? You said you were there, not
A lot
you
of
were there.
people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. I
Most of our time was spent at our booth, but we did get to wander around sometimes.
Oh, speaking of booth, what about the Van Meter monster?
Van Meter. That's a town. That's awesome. I love that whole thing. That's so cool to think that happened.
Yeah, I've got the book and I've been reading about it, and I'm going, and then when we take the walk back to where they say the monster was trapped, it's like, I wish they'd dig it out so we could go in. I want to see if it's really in there.
Yeah.
We must have been buffering. They want to know what was your favorite equipment again.
I Millimeter in my mind, because that's your best piece of equipment you could ever use is your mind.
Yes.
Karen agrees on the same thing. Do you have any investigations coming up?
Dogpatch.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Dogpatch
That's the only one that I know of.
down in Arkansas there?
Yes.
Oh, that would be so fun to go to.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you all just investigators, or do you have a gift like a psychic medium or anything, or
I'm an empath. I also have clairvoyance.
Okay.
So
I'm just a little empath.
Okay. You just investigator. Let's see. Now I got sidetracked here for a second. We were talking about Dogpatch. I just got totally brain freeze here. I was going to ask something and I forgot.
I do that all the time.
I can't. I just can't do. But yeah, Dogpatch really sounds like it's going to be fun. And we're saving up for next year. We want to go to the Sally House, and there's another manor there. I can't remember what the name of the manor is, so we're going to do a weekend thing, do both places at once. Sally House is supposed to be worse than Melbourne, I hear.
Wow.
Sounds like an interesting place.
Josh and somebody else, one was at the manor, one was at the Sally House, and they were asking questions about different places in each place, and they were getting answers. Like it was coinciding with each other. I haven't got to see that video yet. I want to see that video. Yes, we want to come to New Hampshire, Shay.
Yeah, just send us the tickets.
I want to get out to Gettysburg.
I was at Gettysburg when I was about 5 years old.
I'd love to go there. I love learning about the Civil War. Anything I can learn on it is awesome.
Yeah, I'm a Civil War buff. I got books and books of the Civil War and stuff that I study. And there is just over the Arkansas-Missouri border, there is a warrior, like Gettysburg, but we didn't get to walk through it because it was closed, but we went to the museum and stuff and got to get some stuff from that place.
I guess you can still hear cannon blasts.
That's what my brother says. He says he's been through Gettysburg, and it sounds like horses. It sounds like gun blasting away.
That would be something else.
And I just need to save my money and go stay with him because he lives in Harrisburg, and that's just a hop, skip, and jump away.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just got to get out there.
That's one place that I...
Shay gets to go in
don't want.
June.
Oh, fun.
Is there a place they won't go back to?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I haven't found one yet.
So many places I want to go.
I like keep going back to the same ones because it's never the same, and you're learning more about the place, and that's why we wanted to get to the school again, but we didn't make it to the school.
Yes, and we're so sorry about that. We tried.
It happens, and like I told Matt, I don't want to know what. Yeah, that's between you guys, and it happened, and that's all it needs to be said. Shay, I have a place won't go back to. Shay has a place she won't go back to.
Oh.
Where would that be, Shay?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, no kidding. But I last time we were at Edinburgh, I really didn't get spooked by the spirits. I was more spooked about the people that were messing around outside that were real that were the spirits. It's like after they messed around with everything and drove in and out and stuff, it's like I didn't want to investigate no more because I didn't know if they were in the building or if they were in our safe house because you don't lock it. And are they in one of those buildings? Are they going to jump out at us? And it's like I was more stirred up after that. That's one.
Yeah, it's important to trust your team and the teams with you.
Just one. At some tunnel in Massachusetts, she got very sick. Oops.
Is that Hossack?
I'm hooked straight to this Wi-Fi, and we should not be buffering. Neep, neep, neep. I love technology. Now we're unbuffered. Oh, I gotta love technology. But yeah, it's just like the equipment. You think you need this much, but technically you really don't. But the more you have, the more I think the more evidence we're gonna get. But then when we get to the places, half of it don't even get unpacked because we don't use it. Because we've got our certain favorites and we always take them. And then all of a sudden, hey, we didn't use this. We didn't use this. And it's like.
Only need the equipment you trust.
Yeah. And at Edinburgh this last time, I don't know if you got to see our live feed or not, but we had this periscope up. You know, the one that has all the lights that goes like this.
Yeah.
And we were asking this gentleman, we found out his name was Steve, and we asked him if he liked to do such and such, turn it to red, and it would go to red and said stay. And then Allison would ask him another question and turn it to green, and it would jump over to the green and leave it lit. And it was back and forth. And I go, Allison, you don't have this on camera. As soon as she got her camera out, it let us do 2 more questions and quit.
And it quit, yes.
Because it didn't want to be on camera.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
Spirits can be stubborn.
Oh, yes, they can be very stubborn. But it was so neat because you'd ask a certain question to turn it to this certain color, and it would just slowly boom.
I've seen like camera batteries die, and then something happens right after they die.
We had a brand new battery in my my spirit box.
Yeah.
I just turned it on. It wasn't even 5 minutes, and the battery was totally dead. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, you're telling us something there.
Yes.
And then the SLS camera would not come on at all. It was fully charged. It would not come on. So we took it to the warm house.
With that.
We've had trouble with that too.
When we took it to the warm house and left it in there all night long, recharged it, took it in there. It was on as soon as I walked in, walked one step up, and it was off and went and play again. It's like, it don't want to do nothing. And her sister just got an Ovilus.
No.
I like my Ovilus. Yeah, her sister Nicole just got her new Ovilus today. I like mine. It's just, there's times it answers things. It's not really pertaining to the question. But then again, majority of the time it usually does. It's just, I found if you're sitting there holding it, it's going to rattle words off all the time. And as soon as you set it down, then it takes it a while for it to relay words. Because I think a lot of those, if you're holding stuff, I think the energy in you is causing a lot of it more than the spirits around.
Yes. When I was a young girl, my grandfather had a pair of copper rods that he took me out to the cemetery, an old country cemetery with. And somebody had desecrated.
Oh, we're buffering again. Just a minute.
I couldn't have been more than 10 or 11 years old when we did that.
I'll have to test mine out because I didn't make it to Edinburgh's cemetery. Maybe I'll get there when we go back in July.
That's something that I regretted, not getting to the cemetery.
We're going back in July 3rd. We've got it rented again. So
That's our birthday.
Hey! If something comes up and you guys aren't busy, and if we got the room, I'll give you a call.
That's great. I'll make sure you have my phone number before we leave.
I got you on Messenger.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to try those dowsing rods because we tried them up there by the casket. They just sit there. It's like, not gonna move tonight. We couldn't get them to move at all. I don't have good luck holding them. Allison does, but I don't. I just sit there and it's like, okay.
Oh, I have pretty good luck with them.
I'm still learning not to move my wrists. You get the nerves going and your hand moves a little bit. Well, there goes that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't use that because I just did it myself.
Oh, I never grip them. I just lay them between my thumb and forefinger and just kind of balance them.
Mine's got like marbles at the end, so they'll twist. And I'm trying to hold those marbles still, and then it's like I can't.
Yeah, you gotta have a touch.
Yes, you gotta have a good steady hand. Sorry, Wolf, I'm not starting over. I don't know what's going on. I'm hooked up straight to the Wi-Fi like I'm supposed to, and we're still buffering, so I don't know. Wolf wants us to start all over. I don't think so. Not tonight. I'm not starting over. It's bad enough. Just gotta love this technology. So, is there anything else we might have forgot where you investigated? I think we've covered pretty much that I went through the parts and all that stuff. I thought we hit everything.
There's one. No, I can't talk about that.
No. Personal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't talk about that. We don't need to discuss the personals. What about, I know. Were you there when he did the Boone thing in Boone?
Yes.
Is that a personal? Because it was live. You guys were live that night.
No, that one we can talk about.
I forgot all about that one.
That one was another wild one. There was this war room in there. It had glass cases with World War II rifles in them.
Mm-hmm.
World War II memorabilia everywhere. Uniforms, canteens, everything.
And we were getting impressions off of them.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like this. Yeah, it's like this whole room had its own personality, thought process, and memories. It was like walking in there was almost too humbling to do.
Oh, cool. That would have been fun.
It was a great deal of fun. And wherever you went, something seemed to be going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the elevator in the building went up and down all night long.
By itself?
By itself.
Whether there was somebody in it or not. Yes.
Oh, freaky.
I believe that it was not. I believe they said it was not strong enough anymore to run more than one person.
There was like 5 of us that went up.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I know. Yeah, it was going up and down all night long.
Oh, freaky.
Mm-hmm.
That would disturb me. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anybody coming off that?
But the doors never would open. They'd just stop on the floor.
Yeah.
And then it'd take off again after a little while.
Oh,
Yep.
that would. I'd actually, it'd be more interesting to sit in that thing and see if it'd take off with me in it, and then drop up and stop,
Yeah.
and just have my
That
recorders and
would
stuff
be
going
really
on.
interesting.
That would be really cool, just sitting in there with my recorders and stuff and see if I get anything. But my luck, I'd sit in there and it wouldn't do nothing. That'd be my luck.
Mine too.
Well, since we're having some difficulty, we're about done anyway, even though we started late. I'm just gonna call it a night, and
All right.
you guys are going to Dogpatch this year, and nothing else on offhand of anything else. Well, Van Meter.
Yes.
You always are guys that have a booth at Van Meter, so
Mhm.
Right.
I'm gonna try to get there this year. So I didn't make it last year. I made it the year before.
Same with us.
So I will call it a night, and I want to thank everybody for coming. My chat is hard to scroll, so I'm sorry if I don't give the shout outs. I see Matt and Wolf and Shay. I don't remember too many more after that. My scroll is screwed up. So I want to thank everybody that was here and just listening, that wasn't in chat. And we will call it a night. And thank you. See if it plays.
I enjoyed that.
I did too. I didn't clam up either.
No, you didn't.